Jesus Christ. I think upon your sacrifice. You became nothing, poured out to death. Many times I wonder at your gift of life, and I'm in that place once again. I'm in that place once again. And once again I look upon the cross where you died. I'm humbled by your mercy, and I'm broken inside. Once again I thank you. Once again I pour out my life. Now you are exalted to the highest place, King of the heavens, where one day I'll bow. But for now, I marvel at this saving grace, and I'm full of praise once again. And I'm full of praise once again. And once again I look upon the cross where you died. I'm humbled by your mercy, and I'm broken inside. Once again I thank you. Once again I pour out my life. Thank you for the cross. Thank you for the cross. Thank you for the cross, my friend. Thank you for the cross. Thank you for the cross. Thank you for the cross, my friend. And once again I look upon the cross where you died. I'm humbled by your mercy, and I'm broken inside. Once again I thank you. Once again I pour out my life.
I'm a parishioner at St Anselm's, and this is a short personal reflection that I've called Lent in the time of COVID. Time itself has felt very skewed over the last year. Such a different time. So worrying, so hard to manage, so lonely, so long, and full of losses and death for many. And while some have suffered greatly, others have been left largely unscathed. Life has not been fair, and our sense of how things are has really been shaken to the core. I know I feel a bit adrift and untethered from time. So the coming of Lent this year, with its structure, its traditions and rituals, gives me the promise of support, a framework encouraging me for this needed time, and the deep dive of trying to commit to going into the desert with Jesus. At the start of the first lockdown, I found myself as one of the many who were undertaking a major clear-out, trying to sort every cupboard and organise all the undone tasks at home. It just seemed to be the time for it. Something of the same feeling comes back to me now. a notion to get on and tackle all the inner work, the soul work that needs to be done. Of course, this is not how these things work out. Much as I might wish it to be a clear path to follow, I must accept that the authentic Lenten journey is over rough ground and discomfort is inevitable. Acceptance is a big part of the challenge. To hush and listen and allow that now I am not in charge of the agenda. So, first I'll try to shut the door on the outside world and enter a quiet space. And then, within that space, to seriously try to open my ears and still my chattering mind. Thomas Merton calls this a loosing of all the fine strings and strands of tension that bind you, by sight, by sound, by thought, to the presence of other people. This deliberately separating from the hurry of life will offer, I hope, the solitude for prayer that opens a heart and break down the old ego defences. Into the quiet room and the still time, I will ask for the courage to take down the barriers and be myself with Jesus. I will surely find that I have brought with me those things that I know, but find easy to forget, are obstacles to my journey. These are the weaknesses and failings, the habits of unkindness and selfishness and pride. I will try to talk openly with Jesus about what patterns I want to leave behind and what positive solutions could replace them. I may take the model of the prayer Joyce Rupp uses when she says, "Draw words of peace on our lips, where words of prejudice, gossip, shame and blame are eager to be there." Or, "Draw humility from our hearts, where our ego seeks to relish self-righteousness." To help me reflect on these things, I will remember the times when Jesus welcomed and forgave someone who was unacceptable or who'd done something unacceptable, and then put myself in the scene and know that I will be asking and hoping for the same unconditional welcome. I will also have taken my concerns that have heightened and tugged at my mind during this time of COVID. I will try to share my fears and guilt about being faced with the truth of our blind, catastrophic exploitation of the natural world and its devastation on so many communities where survival is now no longer an option. I will ask Jesus to increase my understanding of the interconnectedness of all people and see how the essentials for life, that's water, food, security, can indeed be stripped away by our extreme consuming. I will ask for the strength to try to listen to his answer and stay with it, and to be unafraid to speak out. Dorothy Day says, "If we all carry a little of the burden, it will be lightened. If we share in the suffering of the world, then some will not have to endure so heavy an affliction. You may think you are alone, but we are all members of one another. We are children of God together." When Holy Week comes, I will try to keep in mind the people who have lost their lives during this last year and the pain of their mourning friends and families. I would like to be humbled, this year particularly, by some new understanding of what surrendering to death means and to what truly counts in life. I hope that the journey through Lent will find me grateful and more aware of how blessed I am.
Lord, I know how much you love me. It is hard for me to feel it sometimes, but I know your love is always with me. Help me to use your love as a way to persevere in my Lenten intentions. I am weak, but I know with your help I can use these small sacrifices in my life to draw closer to you. Amen.